Hello and welcome to Camp Ash. This is another Echo fan story, visual novel, about a certain otter's family, or more specifically about Chip Bronson, who, if you may not know, is Sidney Bronson's father. And technically you're not supposed to be able to see this, what you're seeing right now, or you're not supposed to be able to see him yet. But I goofed and now you can see him. Anyways, so yeah, this is Chip Bronson, aka Mr. Bronson, and the story will be centering around him. And I believe that certain characters who are the parents of or relatives of the main Echo cast will also be showing up, or I guess they are also in the story, is a better way to say it, I guess. But yeah. But like I said, it centers around him, and it centers around a camp that they're all gonna go to, called Camp Ash, I believe. And as with most Echo visual novels, shenanigans ensue. So yeah. Anyway, so it will have, I believe, 6 routes, and it's gonna be, of course, 6 routes with these characters. So without further ado, let us begin Camp Ash. Alone. Alone is all that I am right now. The way my paws and webbings ache. The way the sand stings my eyes. The way my adrenaline is crashing as the meth high rears to full force. The way that I'm so tired right now. I'll have to burn these clothes instead of sleep and come up with some excuse for my van. It's so hard to think about anything other than those piercing red eyes. His piercing red eyes. How I snuffed them out for good. It's so dark out. I never realized just how dark the night sky is in Echo. The heat usually weighs you down, makes you feel trapped in your own skin. But it's different now. Quiet. It's still hot though. Summer is just starting and the desert isn't cooling down as much as it should anymore. It feels like I'm being flayed alive, even in the early twilight. Everything should be stopped this late at night. There shouldn't be anything happening, but my mind doesn't stop racing, doesn't stop thinking about it. Why should it stop? I'm not even done walking home yet. Just a few more miles to go after all. A shiver runs down my spine. My sprained arms spasm in response. The cuts and bruises covering my body don't relent with the stinging. It keeps me focused, at least, in the dull days of the night. I'm about halfway to home now, in the most dense part of town. I want to say everyone is looking at me, through their windows, through the dead of sleep. Because why wouldn't they be? Why wouldn't they know what I did? What am I? But it doesn't feel that way, really. It feels like the desert has opened up, pulled me down, and dragged me to the deepest pit of hell. And there is no one. Just nothing. No demon lording over me, punishing me for my sins. No crowds and jeers, nothing to mock and torment me. I just feel empty, hollow, barely even sorry for myself, not remorseful to him, not thinking about what I just put my girlfriend through. Should I even go home? Maybe I should walk to the police and turn myself in. Maybe I should just lie down in the road and die. Fuck. And do that to someone else? No. I won't do that. I won't do what that fucker did to me and my girl. Even if I'm guilty of killing him, he still set us up. I can't do that to someone else. I can't keep the cycle going. I got people waiting on me too. Ma and Pop are expecting me back home. It's not like I want to be trapped there though. Not like I want to be stuck in this dead-end town. I don't want nothing to do with them. With Echo. Does it mean that I couldn't leave without at least saying goodbye? I got my friends too. I can't leave my girlfriend like that either. She's going to need someone, and I'll be that someone for her. It's what she deserves. For not turning me in, at the very least. We'll pack, we'll split, we'll get out of this hellhole. just as soon as I find some extra cash, seeing as all my money went into that new van. Fuck. My van. All that cash that I had paid for it, and I barely had the damn thing for a few hours. Now it's fucking gone. Fuck, I'll have to think of something to tell Ma to. That's a problem for tomorrow, though. I set about building a fire in our pit outside. Everything I'm wearing goes in. Before long, I'm standing bare naked in the backyard, watching the flames dance away the night, ripping and shredding and ashening everything. No evidence, no trace of nothing. I don't think that I could bring myself to wear that stuff anymore anyways. Even if Ma could sew the tears and cuts, even if all the bloodstains came out. I tossed the keys to the van in as well, along with the VIN that I scraped off. Hadn't even got a license plate for the damn thing yet. It's all in the flames now, though. I should try and burn the damn thing. Make sure that no one else sees it again. Make sure that no one finds them. My body stiffens at the thought, like the temperature drops, even though the fire should be keeping me warm. Must just be the meth still. I say it to myself, body still caked in ash and dirt. And blood. I stay still, every scrape of evidence is gone in the wind, nothing but dust. I throw some dirt on the fire, snuffing it out. The dry soil cracks and stings my webbing and paws, everything still sore and hurt. The pain brings me back from my glazed out state. Enough to realize that I'm still standing outside with nothing on, and the sun will rise soon. I sneak in through the back door, careful to wipe my feet so that Ma doesn't question the stains. A quick and cold shower to bring my heart rate down, and I find myself in my bed. I lay my body down and close my eyes, willing my body to rest and recover, but despite the void, the sullen desert, the screaming in my heart keeps me awake. I stand up to open my window, hoping the fresh air will calm me down. It works for a few seconds, until the stars start to spin in the sky, till it looks like the Earth is being sent hurtling through the cosmos, faster than any rocket could propel, fast enough that the skin starts to peel my bones from my body. I close the window, panting, sweat dripping from my brow. I cover the window with its blinds and lie back down in bed. I won't be able to sleep like this, not with everything still running through my veins. I'm still used to my brothers being here, so much so that the silence in the house is keeping me wide awake too. They had all moved on though, even the ones from my father's other wives. It was just me in the house still, not that I didn't hear shit about it from Pa every day. Not like having a coyote for a partner wasn't good enough for him, not my job that got me that car, not me being happy. It's always about the family and God and doing what's right. Even if it hurts me and the others, it's always that way with him, always what he wants. Always what someone else wants. Talk to the other girl at the diner that you're at all the time, he tells me over and over again. As if Eliza isn't a cute girl, but she's not mine. And I'm only there when my girlfriend's working too. The exact opposite shift as Eliza's. Fuck, I wanna sleep. I force myself into the covers, despite the sweat dripping down my body. Maybe I can trick myself into it. The sheets and mattress weigh my body down, the meth causing my aching muscles to twitch and vibrate unnaturally. That's what it feels like, at least, like a weight crushing me down. Down deep where no one can hear me, where I'm not me anymore. Down in that darkness. Alone. I shake my body up, unwilling to let it rest in such a state, where it felt like my dream was going to take me far away from this earth, far away from my mind. That's what's the problem, though. Being alone isn't the problem. Being alone with what's in my head is. The pounding, the stillness of the desert, my heart racing, the bloodshot eyes, pleading, staring, screaming at me. It's all that I feel. And I can't be alone with it. Even though I know that I will be, eventually. Maybe not this second, not this exact moment. But I will be alone with that feeling, with that moment in time. Playing over and over again in my head. In this room. In this bed. in this world. I force myself to stay awake for what feels like hours, practically unblinking and unmoving as the world continues to spin just outside my window, the skies burning hot and red with our speed. As all my failures and flaws flash through my head. All of my sins. Light starts to creep out from underneath the window as pressure on my mind starts to lift and the stars stop spinning. I can finally relax. And I fall into a dreamless and deep sleep. I sleep through the whole next day. When I'm awake, I can hear the TV on from the living room playing the evening shows. Paul hadn't bothered me, luckily. I told him that I'd be working the night before when I was actually out with my girlfriend. I put on some clothes and tiptoed to the bathroom to freshen up. I grab a bag of my things to make it look like I'm headed to work and head to the front door with a quick explanation about back-to-back double shifts. I'm met with an unceremonious grunt before I'm out the door and back into the night of echo. It's about 10 minutes to my best friend's house. 10 more minutes of being alone. I'm walking down the street in a matter of seconds, turning quickly towards my destination. I know the route too well. Through this field of dirt up ahead is the quickest shortcut. It's dark enough tonight where it wouldn't be safe to do without the sickly glowing street lamps in the direction of my destination. So when I go tumbling off a small gully and land face first in the dirt, it's quite a surprise. The pain doesn't register until I roll myself onto my back and I'm left staring up at the night sky. I never realized how lonely it was out here at night. I usually can hear the freeway in the distance or even the bustle of other townsfolk. We're not out in the woods or the actual desert. There's some streetlights somewhere. A warm howling wind spurs me back to the present. I stand up, dusting off the dirt from my clothes, patting myself down to make sure that everything is as clean as it can be after falling on the open grounds. That's when I notice a cobweb stuck to my elbow. I turn my arm to look at it closer. A red tarantula meets my gaze, its eyes piercing and deep. I slap it off without a second thought. I don't have time for this. I finish wiping its webs off of me and continue towards a street lamp. The light washes over me as I step back onto the pavement. It wraps around me like a warm blanket in the muggy air, uncomfortable and suffocating. I walk up to the house and knock on the door a few times. Hey man, how's it going? My best friend Dale stands in the doorway. His face is warm and inviting. Until he gets a good look at me. Whoa, you okay? You look like roadkill. I wince as I step inside, the other otter moving to the side to let me in. Just tired is all. Was at work yesterday for a double shift. Just have to keep my story straight, even with Dale. Do that and we're in the clear in a few days. He looks me up and down a few times, my cheeks grow warm from the inspection. Something else seems wrong. Dale brings a paw to his chin and squints his eyes, staring directly at me now. You know, I talked to Janice earlier. My blood runs cold as a bead of sweat forms above my eyebrow. Yeah, she told me things all right. Hey, let me explain. I'm cut off as Dale embraces me in a tight bear hug. You're just scared about being all alone by yourself here for 2 weeks, huh? What? Well, your pop-ot ain't gonna let his pup go. He squeezes me tighter and I let out a pathetic squeak while trapped in his grip. He relents, placing me on the ground with a few head pats for good measure. My chest always flutters a bit when he plays this little game of ours. Oh? She didn't tell you? I can barely get a grasp of air in as he picks me up and spins me a few times, lights streaking in my blurred vision. We got an open spot for you, bud. If you can make it, that is. Dale fully sets me down, going to his fridge to grab a beer. He tosses me one despite knowing that I'm not old enough to drink yet. I open the seal with a practiced tooth and continue the conversation. What the hell are you talking about, dude? Dale blinks at me a few times, then wordlessly walks to his couch, patting the seat. I sit down next to him, still confused about what's going on. Didn't she tell you? Tell me what, Dale? Mattel thumps against the floor in annoyance. Oh boy. He takes a long drink from his beer bottle before setting it on a nearby coffee table. His fingers interlace as he thinks of the right thing to say. Janice didn't tell you that we were going to be out for 2 weeks? My brain short-circuits a bit. You're what? This isn't happening, not right now. Yeah, it's been planned for about a month now. My dad wants us to fill in some spots at a summer camp. They need some last-second lunch staff replacements, and my dad volunteered the two of us. I gotta do what he says if I want the diner, of course. And Janice wanted the double pay. How did my girlfriend and best friend both forget to mention something so major? Dad's a good friend of the owner, so he's moving cash and stuff around to help out. It's funny, ain't it? I can't be alone for 2 weeks. How much of our parents' past changes our day-to-day lives? Dale finishes his beer before standing up to grab another one from the fridge. My throat is dry and patchy, so I down the rest of my beer in a few gulps. Dale returns with 2 more, passing me one that he opened with a bottle opener on the fridge. You know, that's bad for your teeth. He points at his canines with a muzzle-wide grin. I don't want to see my pup crying when he chips a tooth is all. He pats my back a few times as the warmth from the alcohol starts to spread through my chest. Get it? Chips a tooth? Chip? I down the second beer in a few gulps again. Stop calling me Pop. You're only 2 years older than me. The otter chuckles as he sets his beer down, already halfway empty. He pats my back a few times as I feel my face start to go flush. It's always worth it to see you hot and bothered though. Dale winks at me as he pulls me closer against him. A squeak escapes my throat as I get comfortable leaning on his bigger body. He flicks on the TV with the remote as we settle in together on the couch. It's just nice to be next to another otter is all. I space out, commenting on the commercials and the programs that we flip in between. It feels normal being here with my best bud. It even feels normal when our tails meet each other after an hour or two of hanging out. Even the feeling of us untangling our tails when we hear his dad's car approach the driveway. I jump to my feet, grabbing the beer bottles that have littered the place and toss them in the trash while Dale finds his work apron and hat from the family's coat rack. It had been almost 4 hours, just the two of us. Dale has his work outfit on, just as his father walks in through the door. Good evening, Mr. Cooper. I give a polite greeting to the larger and taller otter as he walks inside his house. He's even bigger than Dale. He nods in acknowledgement as I make my way out of the house, waiting outside for Dale. The two talk at the doorframe for a few hushed sentences before Dale waddles out towards the street to meet me. We fall in pace towards the diner before we start talking. You know, your dad should hire me to work there too. I've told him, but he said that you're there anyways without paying you, so what's the point? We both chuckle while the lingering effects of the alcohol remain in our system. Definitely not the first time that Dale's gone buzzed to work, and definitely not the first time that I waddled in buzzed with him either. Well, like we were talking about earlier. You can come with me and Janice to the camp. You know, I don't know much about cooking. That's a woman's job after all. Dale raises an eyebrow at me. My pa says the Lord told us to have multiple wives, so Janice can be the wife who's for making babies, and you can be the wife who cooks. Without a moment's notice, Dale whacks the back of my knees with his tail. I trip forwards, back into the dirt again. Hey, what was that for? I stumble, still a bit inebriated as I catch back up to him. I can see the words turning in his mind a few times before he responds. Why do I gotta be the cooking and cleaning wife? I can actually give you some otter puffs. You can't get Janice pregnant, so make her cook and clean. I gulp. You ever tell Janice to clean something? That ain't her job, she'll say. Plus, she usually burns the cooking too. Dale nods a few times as we walk step in and step down the late night streets. I can't get you pregnant either, dumbass. It's so strange there hasn't been any cars on the road in the last 2 nights. Have you seen how dirty those tables are? Of course I don't ask Janice to clean. I know exactly how she gets. We break out into a fit of laughter just as we push our way through the double doors. These boys and their squeaking. Janice shakes her head at us as she clocks in for her shift. Well, I think they're cute. The waitress my dad wants me to be with responds as she clocks out for the day. See you later, boys. She gives the two of us a wink and we wave as we walk by each other. I don't pay her any attention as I walk up to Janice, hugging her loosely from the back. As she makes her way to the counter, she smiles and kisses my cheek as we part. I sit on a stool closest to the register as she counts the till, Dale lumbering in behind her towards the kitchen. My eyes meet Janice's. Hers are large and scared, betraying her calm and friendly demeanor. I'm sure that she sees it in mine too. I let her finish counting, her tail swishing the entire time. She meets my gaze with a warm and hollow smile. I don't blame her. So, what's this about, some kind of camp? I do my best to show her that it's been eating me alive. She looks away for a moment before responding. Just some extra money. She busies herself with menial tasks. I give her a few moments to respond, but she ignores me as she goes about prepping in case any customers come in. Not like they usually get many past midnight. I don't know if I have it in me to push it. I just want to be with her right now. I don't know if we should even talk about it. Anyways, didn't Dale tell you? I saw you two come in together, so I figured that you were at his place again. Yeah, just hanging out. I wanted to get my mind off of things. Janice grimaces for a moment before straightening up and sticking a pencil in her hair. A group of locals walk in through the door, the doorbell ringing, announcing their presence. They say hello to Janice and me as I stand to the side so Janice can get her work done. Guess I'm here enough that the regulars know me too now. I take a booth near the back and keep myself occupied as the group gets situated. Dale places a chocolate shake on the counter closest to me before returning back to the kitchen, just as Janice drops off the orders for him. I sip away as Janice disappears for a few minutes to prep with Dale. By the time that I'm halfway done, Janice makes her way to my booth, face long and sullen. Our eyes meet as I go to console her as she brings a finger up to her muzzle. I nod and decide to only hold her paw with mine. She shudders with a deep breath, a single tear dropping from her face onto the table. She dabs away the wetness, careful not to smudge her makeup. She smiles at me before turning around and continuing to work. A few minutes later, she brings the group their food. Dale leaves the kitchen and sits across from me in the booth, a plate of mozzarella sticks on his paw. He gestures for me to have some, and I nibble on them as we wait for Janice to finish. This is the first thing that I've eaten in over 24 hours. I'll be just right over there, fellas. Feel free to give me a holler if you need something, but I'll be by to check up on ya, so don't worry. Janice addresses the single table at the diner as she takes a seat next to me. She rests her head on my shoulder as we hold paws on the top of our laps. At least it's a slow night for our last shift before we head out. Dale munches on the plate of food as Janice winces. So, are you in, Chip? No one's told me what's happening. Janice sits up and looks at the two of us. You didn't tell him when he was over there, Dale? You didn't tell him last night? He looks between us. My body goes cold as Janice squeezes my paw under the table. Did Janice fuck up her part of the story? Did I? I told you earlier, lughead. She looks directly at Dale. I didn't see Chip last night. He had a double shift. My heart rate returns to normal as I realize our stories line up. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Things tend to blend together with all these night shifts. Dale twirls a mozzarella stick in the air, mine seemingly wandering for a few moments. Janice snaps her fingers and the otter resumes the conversation. It's why I forgot to tell him earlier. We just fell into the routine, normal guy stuff in our normal town. Janice squeezes my paw just as Dale nudges me with the feet under the table. So we need one more to meet the camp's requirements. He's looking at me as if I understand what's even going on. You in, Chip? Before I can ask him for what, Janice jumps into the conversation. We got jobs up at the camp on the other side of the state. They need a swim instructor after the last one bailed out, and... She gently pokes my tail. You should do well enough at it. I nod. Pays real good, and cause it's last second, they're giving out more money. She squeezes my paw again. It's for 2 weeks, and we leave tomorrow. Tomorrow was our shortcut for the next calendar day. Being together past midnight frequently made talking about time confusing sometimes. It'll make a nice getaway. Fuck. This is just the chance that we need to get out of the town while things blow over, especially if anyone is looking for him. This is the pay to. Dale pulls out a pamphlet with a number circled on it. It's big enough to make up for the van and even have some extra cash on paw to. Damn, it's pretty good. I have to play this off though. I can't look too eager to split. What am I gonna tell work though? It's a fair question. Tell him it's a Mormon thing. A great uncle or aunt or sister wife died and you gotta get upstate stat for a funeral. Janice twirls her head for a bit. Plus, I'll have enough where we can do whatever we want when we're back. Janice is looking directly at me, her paw squeezing tighter than it has this whole night. Does she want to split town with me? You can get that van that you were talking about, and we can go on our vacation, babe. She smiles her hollow smile at me again. I thought you were gonna pick that up yesterday, bud. Dale starts to think about the facts Janice and I have given him about the last 2 days. There was a mix-up. Chip's job fucked over his check or something. She covers for me as I sat there too dumbfounded to reply. Isn't that right, babe? Yeah. Yeah, this is a good plan. I'm pissed at them for screwing my check anyways. So, I'll do it. I'll go. Janice claps as Dale smiles, pulling the two of us close across the table as our heads touch gently. So glad my two lovebirds won't have to be apart from Papa Ott. Janice giggles and I roll my eyes in feigned annoyance. How are we getting there? I'm definitely going to be too tired to drive. Duke's taking us. Yeah, he's gonna pick me up at my place in the morning, tomorrow, at around 8 a.m. You in? I can't be by myself here, and I can't go back home. Not so soon. Not when it's all over my face still. Can I crash at your place, Dale? I'm sure my folks aren't gonna be too happy if I quit my job. Even if it's worth almost 3 months' pay for it. His tail touches my leg under the table. Always, dude. His smile is warm and full. Sincere. Hell yeah, I'm in. Alright. Yay! So it's settled. One more day here in Echo. And then Janice and I will have enough money to skip town. It's what I've wanted with her for a long time now. The rest of their shift is uneventful. Only a few one-off drunks stumbling in for food and only a single table till the morning crew tricks in just as the sun begins to rise. This was their busiest time, the time that I made myself small and scarce in the booth for the last hour or so before the full morning shift tagged in. We said goodbyes to their co-workers and friends and make our way down to the main street, the early morning sun already starting to cook us to death already. I walked Janice a few paces down the sidewalk towards her house, right where me and Dale usually split to head to his house. I hold one of her cheeks in my paw and give her a kiss goodbye. She smiles at me, her smile no longer hollow. She kisses me back on the cheek before taking a few steps back. Hey. Before I see you again tomorrow? Yeah, babe? Janice rubs her upper left arm. Do you have another hit on you right now? My face drops and heart sinks. I turn around without a word, making my way back to Dale. I walk past the other otter. He takes a second look between the two of us before jogging to catch up with my angry stride. I refuse to look back at Janice as we make our way out of sight. A few awkward and silent minutes go by before Dale asks me what's wrong. I don't respond. We make it back to his house without speaking. Mr. Cooper is getting ready for the day, about to head out. He acknowledges us with a curt nod as he's leaving just as we stumble into Dale's room. I open my mouth to finally answer, but Dale has me in a tight bear hug again. I feel warmth fall down my face, sliding right over my fur and onto Dale's shoulder. It's okay, bud. It's okay. He's petting the back of my head. I didn't even realize that I was crying. He takes my shirt off, and I do the same for him. We lie next to each other on the bed, slick torsos against slick torso. It just feels better with an otter, is what Dale always said when we've done this. He's right though, just the fur on fur feeling of being close. It's also nice to just be an otter with him. If I stay the night with Janice, after a shift she'd complain about the room smelling ottery, and I'd have to freshen up and spray back there. But with Dale it's different. We bring our elbows to a bend, paws twisting up in the air, and lie down belly to belly, at a 45-degree angle, leaning against each other. Janice always said that it's weird when I sleep with my paws up. I always used to be made fun of for doing it at sleepovers with other species. But so did Dale, so he knows. It's just what otters do. Dale's snoring is calming in its repetition. Knowing someone is there is nice. Sleep takes me fast. I'm the first one to awake. I carefully untangle my tail from Dale's and get dressed to head to my house. Ma and Pa should be at work, and Mr. and Mrs. Cooper should be both at the diner too. Just as I'm headed out of the room, I turn to see Dale grab the covers where I was lying and pull them into a tight cuddle. I make it to my house without much issue, grabbing enough clothes for the trip. I write Ma a note saying that work wants me upstate at a site opening and that I'll be back after. She'll understand and I will drop by for the rest of my things after the trip. I'm sure that she'll tell Pa too. I'm back at Dale's place within an hour from when I left. He's still sound asleep, drooling in between squeaky snores. I'm so happy that I was able to find someone that I can be myself with. There was surprisingly 6 other otter families still in Echo, despite the fact that it was just a desert. But Dale was the only one that I was really able to get close with. I'm not sure what I'd do without him. He's been there for me when we were little kids. It was nice to just be able to relax with someone. And that warm bed was looking better and better by the minute. I crawl back in, wedging myself against the blankets and Dale. I'm closer to him now, and completely sideways. This is probably how Janice feels when we cuddle. My face flashes red, a deep blush and embarrassment racking me. I turn to wiggle so that I can flip around, not wanting to be Dale's little spoon. I end up muzzle to muzzle with him, whiskers touching. His breaths tickle the tip of my snout fur. This is even weirder. I wiggle again to the other side, enough so that I can try to get leverage and try to crawl out from his grasp. Just as I'm free enough to move, his outstretched arms pull the blankets and me back into him. Tightly. I can still breathe, but I can't move. With both of my arms stuck beneath me, I consider waking him up, but the sway of the ceiling starts to make me dizzy. I took a lot the other night when we... It's just starting to catch up on me is all, and the best thing that I can do now is sleep. I resign myself to my fate, now flush with Dale. He's... warm. And it helps me fall asleep in just a few minutes. The dregs of early twilight tickle the tips of my fur as I stir awake. It's creeping around the edges of the window, the room dark and cool still. I must have slept through the rest of the day again. I'm still flush with Dale, the two of us now under the layers of blanket. He must have woken up and went back to sleep like that on purpose then. There is a few beer bottles around the room along with an empty plate of food, confirming my suspicion. He feels me moving and begins to wake up next to me. Dale ruffles my head for a dopey smile on his face. Finally! You slept the whole day away. He yawns, beginning to remove the sheets on top of us. He's only wearing underwear. Dale starts to move around the room, gathering his things as I still try to process what's going on fully. I saw you grabbed your stuff already. He points towards my bags. So I didn't bother to wake you up to get them for today. But figured that I'd let you sleep. Dale sits on the foot of the bed, placing a paw on my leg. I don't pull it away. Hey, are you okay, man? I can't process his statement. You were really upset after Janice left the other day, and I wasn't sure what to do. So I just let you sleep. Figured that you needed to readjust to normal waking hours anyways. He rubs my leg a few times with his paw, absent-mindedly. There anything you want to talk about? I take a few moments to respond. Just a small fight with Jan is all. We should be okay for the trip. At least for today. He makes a face that I can't read and pats my leg a few times. Okay, man, just know that I'm here for you. Dale stands up and puts on a smile and walks outside of his room. I find my shirt and few belongings, ready to head out even if we're early. Dale returns and offers a plate of cooked breakfast. It's cold, but it's still filling. We make a trip to the grocery store down the street for supplies and make it back to his house as the sun starts to rise. Just as we get situated outside, Duke's car pulls around the corner. The weasel parks his convertible in the driveway, aviator glasses covering his eyes. What's up, musk butts? Janice is in the passenger seat, her scarf tied over her head. She steps out with Duke, surveying the luggage and food supplies Dale and I have. Oh, thanks, babe. You got my favorite snacks. Janice walks over to me, sneaking a kiss before grabbing a bag of the chips from our bags. She sits back down in the back seat, passenger side. Duke opens his trunk and Dale and him starts to load in our things. I take our small bags and head to the back seat, sitting behind Duke's seat. I yawn in a cutely pathetic way otters do, and Janice smiles, holding my paw as we get situated for the ride. Dale and Duke return to the front, Duke getting into the driver's seat while Dale sits on the passenger side, sliding his seat a fair way back. Janice still has enough room with her relatively short legs, thankfully. You all got your IDs and shit? We all mumble a tired confirmation. Sweet. First stop is the University of Pueblo to fill out some paperwork, then onwards to the camp. I barely have time to buckle my seat belt as Duke starts to pull out of the driveway, headed towards a highway. What's Pueblo got to do with this? The program is through them. We gotta get paperwork done so that we can get paid and all that, cause it's so last second. Did they not tell you? Not at all. I didn't even know that I was going till yesterday morning. Duke responds by turning off the radio, nodding his head along to an upbeat tune. You really were last second, musk butt. Janice giggles to herself over the juvenile insult. You know, weasels are musky species too. That's what makes it funny. Duke turns the radio up even more as we hit the freeway. The marching band came down along Main Street. The soldier blues fell in behind. The wind whips faster and faster as Duke accelerates along the open stretch of desert. The sun fringes the tips of my fur. Janice grips her paw in mine, and my heart flutters. She knows that I wanted to enlist but didn't for her, after a few of our older friends from Echo were drafted a few years ago and didn't come home. She made me promise not to enlist. Who knows if I would have kept it if Dale had gotten drafted. Billy, don't be a hero. Come back to me. I return her tight hold just as Duke cranks the volume again. I gotta pee. We had barely made it 30 minutes before Dale asked Duke to pull over. Guess we were just a few minutes off being actually ready. Duke promises at the next rest stop in a few miles. A few minutes pass and we pull off the highway into a dusty parking lot. Out of the way! Dale is up and out of his seat before Duke fully stops the car, paws cupped between his legs as he waddle runs to the men's restroom. Duke massages his temples with an open paw while Janice rolls her eyes. The parking lot is empty besides us and a parked white pickup truck. One that's all too familiar. Hey, isn't that... Miriam's truck? Just as Janice says her name out loud, Miriam Moore walks out from the woman's restroom, signature straw hat on top of her scaled head. She looks over at us, a smile on her face. Well, what are the chances running into you three here? She hollers from across the rest stop. She bounds up to us, skipping her step, while we greet her with polite hellos. She's the mayor's daughter, a local and friend of our group. She had moved out of Echo to the University of Pueblo after high school, coincidentally. Where are y'all headed out this morning? Headed up to Pueblo. We got a summer job up there, funnily enough. Aw, summer jobs? Just like in high school. No one responds right away. Are you coming down visiting for the summer? Actually, just left Echo this morning. Was headed back myself. Why didn't you tell us that you were in town, hon? Was only there for the evening. Had to drop something off for my folks and pick someone up. Would have been nice to catch up, but I'll be back in 2 weeks, I promise. 2 weeks, huh? Hey, by chance are you... Janice stops in the middle of her sentence as another figure steps out from the women's restroom. It is another girl from Echo. She's a year younger than the three of us, but we definitely all know her. Trisha Hendricks? Janice waves her down, the shy sheep looking towards us with shock. Miriam waves her over, and the sheep tromps down the sidewalk towards our parked car. Hi, everyone. She waves at us meekly. We're not strangers, but we're definitely not very close with Trisha. Not as much as Miriam, for sure. Makes sense Amor knows a Hendricks, though. Duke nods his head, and I repeat the gesture without thinking. Oh my gosh, are you two working at the same summer camp as us? Miriam places her scaled paw on her hips. Trisha blinks in confusion. Now, what are the odds? Some last-minute thing out in Pueblo, right? The very same. What's the place called again? Janice looks to Duke. The weasel shrugs. Dale's the one with the info. Miriam's face drops at the mention of the otter. Dale's coming too? Yeah, he's in the shitter still. Miriam's eyes flash towards the bathroom and back towards the car. Trisha starts counting her fingers as she silently mouths a few words. Her eyes dart towards Miriam for a split second. Anyways... You two want a caravan with us? I don't know. Yeah, sounds like a plan. I'm gonna go get the truck going. Miriam walks towards the truck, Trisha following closely behind her. There's always something off about them. You get used to it. Duke pulls out a lighter and cigarette from his dash. He lights it and takes a deep drag. You don't think that she'll be a buzzkill, do you? Nah, we'll show her a good time. Maybe it'll help her out of her shell. I hope so. I don't want to be wasting all of that booze for nothing. Let alone the reefer. Duke spits his cigarette out towards the pavement. Not so loud. No one's here, Duke. Janice gestures towards a very much empty parking lot. That's not the point. Before their argument can continue, Dill appears from the men's washing room, patting dry his paws as he makes his way to the car. Thought they were just taking a piss. Duke starts the engine as Dale approaches, signaling with the paw to Miriam that we're leaving soon. Had a crazy night last night, so it took me a while. Janice glances between me and Dale. You know how it is. With fag otter sex. Duke lights another cigarette as Dale gets into the car. Dale's face blushes red for a moment. Dale flicks Duke onto the side of the head as the engines roar to life. We head out towards the highway. With getting rushed by a whiny weasel to be on time, asshole. You know, I think Duke might be a stoat. Duke smirks as he gets back onto the highway, beginning to accelerate back onto the open desert. I don't have time for this hippy-dippy bullshit about what species I am. It doesn't matter anyways. The lot of you would love this musky ass anyways. I instinctively lean back as Janice goes to smack the back of Duke's head. Keep your mouth shut and drive the damn car, hon. I'm just saying, look at all your friends, yote. The lot of us with stinky asses. If you weren't driving the damn car too fast, I would have a mind to punch your lights out for talking to my girl like that, Duke. The weasel laughs, turning up the radio again. But I am, so keep your pantsy paws to yourself, musky butt. Hey, wait a minute. How are you complaining about hippie shit when you have a ton of reefers in your trunk? I could see Duke's smirk from here behind him. I told you to keep it down, Jan. Janice giggles. With the tension broken, I join her. Dale was sitting there, blushing and annoyed still. God. What would I do without my friends? It takes us just a little under 3 hours to get to Pueblo. It was easy enough to find the university from the highway, and Dale manages to get us to where we needed to sign up with instructions from his pamphlet. We find parking and shovel out of the car, the heat and sun starting to get to us. Hey, can you put the top up the rest of the way? I feel like my head is starting to sizzle. No way. The only point of a convertible is to feel the sand and sun on your fur. My fur feels like it's gonna melt off my scalp. Buy a hat. You could ride with us. I left the green recruit hat my pa bought me at home, the one he's mad that I never needed to wear. How he keeps telling me over and over again that there's more war to fight. Janice rubs my arm, pulling me back to the present. You okay, babe? Yeah, just thinking about... I rub my head for... hats. She gives me an incredulous look but doesn't press the issue. We settle the paperwork and make it back to our cars, Dale deciding to stick with us, said that it was only about an hour more and mostly up the mountains where the tree line would shade up. We're leaving the city of Pueblo now, crossing over the creek and into the desert off the expressway. It was almost like being back in Peyton, just a bit greener with nearby snowmelt. It's quiet this far out with only a few cars on the road towards the mountains. Duke pulls off the expressway to a gas station with last chance gas sign. There's one other car aside from ours parked in the back, and a motorcycle parked at a gas pump. We shuffle out of our vehicles and make our way inside. We enter the gas station, a light bell clanging our arrival. Do you think that they have more of those chips I like? Did you eat all of the ones Chip got you already? There's too many chips in those sentences and it's making me hungry. I could go for a burger right about now. Don't eat too much. We got a big bonfire planned for tonight. Did you guys bring anything that isn't meat? Shit. Not enough for it to be fair to you. Sorry, hun. We didn't know anyone else from Echo was going. It's okay. I'll see what I can get here to roast. Oh, we can find a grocery store somewhere. You don't want to pay gas station prices for food. Everyone else looks away awkwardly. Dale and Janice take the opportunity to split, scavenging for snacks. Never mind. Listen, buddy. An accented voice rings out from the counter. It's loud and angry. Just sell me the gas and I'll be out of your hair. Hey, I don't want any trouble. I'm just trying to help out. A red wolf is shaking down the store clerk in a possum. The wolf is around our age, no older than Dale for sure. His glasses contrast with his roughneck-looking outfit. Hey, amigo. Duke walks right up to the wolf, butting in before the weasel knows what's going on. You got a problem, bud? Duke. Don't interrupt. He'll just get mad at you. Our entire group is around the counter now. Surely this dude wouldn't pull something with this many people around. Unless he has a gun. Whoa. I was just asking for gas. He asked where I was going, and when I told him where, he said that he wasn't gonna sell me anything. Duke rolls his eyes, clearly not believing the wolf. That national phobe sure did die hard out in the sticks. Possum, is that true? Well... Are you serious? You got a beaner yelling at you, and you tell me that it's your fault? Are you serious? Hey, shut up, amigo. Duke, enough. Enough. He wasn't going to yell at my girlfriend like that. Listen, Ray, just sell him the gas. I shouldn't. Why not? That place ain't safe. He shouldn't be going there. And where exactly is that? We look towards the wolf. Camp Ash. Dale, Trisha, and Miriam take a step back. Huh? Now where the fuck is that? It's where we're working at. The room falls silent as everyone stares amongst themselves. Nobody moves for what feels like minutes. Until Trisha sighs and grabs a roll of vegetarian patties from a fridge shelf, trotting loudly against the tiles as she makes it to the counter. Just ring me up. Miss, I shouldn't. Y'all shouldn't go there. Trisha slams $100 bill on the table. Keep the change. The possum grabs the bill with his paw and holds it up to the fluorescent store light. It's your funerals. He rings up the purchases and pockets the change. And you better sell everyone else gas too. The wolf manages to grumble a response before throwing a few bills onto the counter, letting the clerk know what pump his motorcycle is on, and storms out the door. Oh, they do have my chips. Duke and Miriam are busy pumping gas, both talking at the pumps while Dale and Janice sit in the convertible ready to keep going. The wolf is finishing up his tank by the time that I walk out of the gas station's restroom. I should apologize to him for how Duke acted. Hey. Hi? The man looks down towards me. He isn't as tall as Dale, but I still feel small next to him. The wolf grabs the rim of his glasses, taking them off and wiping them with a white lace handkerchief from his back left pocket. My eyes narrow at the peculiar scrap of cloth. His eyes meet mine and he smiles wide. So, you'll be working up at Camp Ash, right? The wolf steps closer to me, the two of us practically touching. Yeah. He reaches out a paw as if to shake. I grab it and I'm surprised by the strength of his grip. I do my best to match it, but I'm pretty emasculated about the whole thing by now. Name's Ernesto. Ernesto Alvarez. I'll see you there, amigo. He winks at me, hopping onto his motorcycle right after. Miriam whistles, getting the wolf's attention over the roar of his bike. She waves him down and he waits for her to walk over. If you're going to Camp Ash, ride with us? If what the possum said was true, and it is dangerous, we should stick together. Ernesto looks towards Duke. He won't be a problem. I promise. I'll kick his ass if he tries anything. You wouldn't believe how tired I am of that shit. Ernesto puts a paw on my shoulder. If you say so, Otter, I believe you. Miriam breathes in heavy through her nose, eyes rolling as hard as she can roll them. That's settled, let's get going. Miriam walks over to Duke, explaining to him Ernesto's going to ride with us. To Duke's credit, he doesn't yell too loudly. The weasel starts his engine and yells over the noise. As long as I'm in front. Ernesto smiles again. I don't mind the middle. Miriam looks between the two before sighing again. She gets in her truck and starts the engine. I start to walk to Duke's car before Ernesto grabs me by the arm. Hey, Nutria. Ride with me, yeah? I look back towards Duke's car, Janice looking expectantly at me. Who should I ride up the mountain with? For this playthrough, at least for this route that I will be doing first, I'm gonna ride in Duke's car. But eventually I will ride with Ernesto. So for now, I'm gonna have to go back to Duke's car. Maybe next time, bud. Ernesto gives me a scornful look, but drops it a moment later. I climb into the back of the car with Janice, her eyes greeting me with a kind smile. She pulls me into her by her shoulder, giving me a kiss on my muzzle. We're almost there. She sounds excited, but I feel confused. Yeah. Why Why was she making a show of it? Gassing it. Duke doesn't give me enough time to process anything as he peels off onto the expressway. The sun is worse than earlier, but that was expected as we get fully into the afternoon. Janice cuddles up next to me, putting her snout on my shoulder. I pull my arm around her and lean my head onto hers. She nuzzles me a few times and sneaks a kiss. My man. My girl. And that's where I'm going to leave it for today. So we finally got to meet the whole cast, all the characters that you will be, Chip will be interacting with throughout these maybe 2 weeks. I don't know. Might be less. But yeah. So if you haven't guessed by now, it's going to be the same thing as with other stories such as Echo, where you pick your partner and then you stick with them and then you witness a story through the choice that you made. And yeah, if you also haven't guessed by now, I'm going to be sticking with Janice first. But you will eventually see everyone else, okay? So like before you ask, yes, I will be going with all the other characters in due time. But for now, we're going to start with Janice because it kind of seems a little bit more relevant considering that this story takes place immediately after the accident. If you don't know which accident I'm talking about, then you should probably read Echo first. Or look at the videos that I made of Echo. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, so again, this is a fan story. It is not canon, so nothing that happens here is canon to what actually happened in Echo or Arches. But like, it's a fun little fan story, so yeah. Anywho, so is it me or did Dale and Chip kind of give off some vibes? Like, they gave off more vibes than Chip and Janice did, so like, I think I know where you are. But yeah, anyway, so write down in the comments what you think so far, if you're excited for this new visual novel. And thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Camp Ash yourself and stay up to date with what's going on with it, you can do so by going down to the link in the description, which will have a direct link for the itch.io page where you can download and play the game yourself. If you would like to support the project, I actually don't know if they have any form of support because this is a fan story and I don't know if they're allowed to, because I think Tanner, who's writing Cycles, said that he doesn't have any like form of support because it's again a fan story. But and it felt kind of weird to do that, kind of like making money off of somebody else's thing. But like I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, if there's any form of support, then I will be linking that down in the description as well. And if you would like to support the channel, you can do so. You can become a channel member. And it does help support me, and it does help support the channel, and it does give you earlier access to these videos as they're being scheduled. It's usually like 2 weeks in advance, usually a little less, maybe sometimes. But yeah, so you know, do that if you like the channels, if you like these videos. Also like and subscribe or whatever. Also, I have a Ko-fi in case you feel, you know, if you want to support through there, or if you can't through channel membership. And I also have a throne in case you're feeling overly generous. But yeah. Anyway, so I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.